I think the ability to settle down, and in my first year, 2002, in fact, in my very first game for the Vikings radio network at Champaign against the Chicago Bears, I got so excited when a player named Talance Sawyer either recovered a fumble or sacked the quarterback that I leapt up and all of the equipment fell. I pulled it, the headphone cords and everything, so they had to reinsert things. And you know, I'm excited to call the games now, and I get really excited during the games, but I was just out of control. Well, the games begin with a boom, and that generally sets the tempo for my energy. And boom! Minnesota Vikings football is in the air. So then now, as the offense comes out, then you start describing that, the defense, and it's really lickety-split and quick tempo. And really the plays dictate the flow. Bursic and I feel, have a good way of sharing with our vocal intonations and the way we're calling the game, kind of how the game is going. If it's downtrodden and kind of slow and like in quicksand, you know, you can tell in our voices. But if that thing, as the kids would say, gets hype, then you want to be listening to the Vikings radio network, because we're going to pay you off. Well, the "and he's loose" call is actually something that originated in my horse racing career. With this being my first play-by-play job at any level, the fact that I had called, 10 to 15,000 races before I started in the NFL, I knew how to build a crescendo, and they're racing. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. They hit the wire, photo finish. So when horses would take big leads at the top of the stretch, every so often I would say, "and he's loose," like the horse got loose. So then when Adrian joined the mix and he had all of those runs where he ran away from everybody, I decided to implement that into football, and I guess people at NFL Network and around the country and everything, they were like, "Whoa, we've never heard this, and he's loose." There have been times that I've tried to drop another horse racing ism into calls. Randy Moss has left the Detroit Lions defense in the wake of a keen turn of speed. But after I tried to do keen turn of speed a couple of times and I stumbled, it got left on the cutting room floor. I like it a lot. It just takes too long to get it out. That's kind of a key part of this, is that I'm not afraid to try new things. I write down new adjectives pretty much every single game. I try to implement them every single game. Some work, some don't. Fortunately, I work with people who are very honest with me. And if there are things they really like, they tell me to do it more. If there are things they don't like, they say, "Hey, you might want to consider, not trying to spit out in 15 yards. So-and-so has been left in the wake of a keen turn of speed." The biggest embarrassment that I've had calling a Vikings game, I still think 2009, we're at St. Louis. And that's the Brett Favre season. I mean, everything's magnified, everything's unbelievably cool, the team's super good. And Jared Allen scooped up a fumble and got into the end zone. And for some reason, as I went to the binoculars, I saw a 9 on the side and a white guy running into the end zone. So for whatever the reason, I said it was Heath Farwell. Heath Farwell, he never plays defense. So then I quickly corrected it. Then after the game, I'm in the locker room. Jared Allen is on the phone doing a national radio interview. And I walked by him, and they must have played the highlight. And Jared looks at me and says, "Heath Farwell? What the?" And I go, "I know, I'm sorry." So that was quite embarrassing.